Take this out of my mouth.
Yeah, probably should.
Well, it makes me look cool, Amy. Whenever you're ready.
I'll let you finish your coffee drink first. Well, not the whole drink, just a drink.
Go for it.
Hello, welcome to harpystitch. I'm Amy.
And I'm not.
If you are new, welcome. I know I got some new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Today, I am going to do a belated WiP parade, and then we are changing things up, and we're going to save the life updates to the end and start just with the cross stitching. And our comic relief is here in front of the camera again.
How you doing? You know what I forgot to do during recording? I forgot to tell you how nice you look today. You do. You look nice. Your hair is lovely. I like your top. Oh, I know it's just some old thing you threw on to sit around watching videos on the YouTube, but it still looks good on you. Anyway, let's get on back to the video, and I hope you have a great day.
So the first thing I would like to share with you is the only challenge project from Frogwarts that I actually started, because I ended up just doing year 5 for everything else. One of the prompts was a curse, and it could be like a magical curse, or it had to be a swear word. So I went looking through my stash, and I found this in a book of Subversive Cross-stitch. One of the reasons I decided to pick this one is right before Frogwarts, I won an Instagram contest from formerly Cross Stitching Galore, now Black Dahlia Fabrics, and I won 14 count Hungry Pigman, and I have to check the species number, give me a sec. Aliens Among Us species 8361.
Did you say Hungry Pigman?
Yes, that's the name of the fabric.
Pigman.
Yes, all of their fabrics are like kind of cryptid coded with their names.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And their symbol is a Sasquatch.
It is very pink.
Yes.
Long pork.
And I am not usually a pink person. I used to be, but I burnt myself out on it.
I love pink. It's one of my favorite colors.
Everything I used to own when I was a kid was pink, and eventually I got burnt out. But this pink variegated thread is so perfectly gothic-y pink. I was like, I should do a tone on tone. So I was like, and what better thing to do in pink and sweet and innocent colors than curse words. I am still looking. We went thrifting yesterday, partially looking for a frame for this. I think it needs to be something kind of old-fashioned and ornate. I started this on July 14th and finished it on July 15th.
Didn't take very long.
No. Super easy, simple. So I had a lot of fun with this, and I think it turned out wonderfully. So that is my first finish for you. I have one more finish, believe it or not.
Well, we await with bated breath. By which I mean, I ate some catfish balls earlier.
You're so good.
And now my breath smells like bait.
Well, then don't breathe towards me, please. My second finish for you today is W is for Witch by Lighthearted Little Ones. It is an older pattern. I started this on July 26th and finished it the same day, so it was a Saf. This piece of fabric is just a 14 count scrap I found. I have no idea what the color name is. It's kind of an orchidy purple.
Kind of plum looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did make one change to her hair and the socks because it was calling for 340 and 341, and that's almost the exact color as the fabric. So I took a color that was in the larger design and I just replaced the hair and the socks with that. I decided to do the smaller version instead of the bigger one, which is why I have the picture here, because I'm going to put it in a card. So I wanted the smaller version, and I happen to have this little star embellishment. It's not the exact one, though it's really close, because because I just thought it would be fun. I wanted to have a moon too, but I didn't have one, so I lived with it. But I think she turned out really cute.
Now, are they socks or does she just not shave her legs?
That is a good question. We've got the green, and the green on her hands are two different colors. So I'm hoping she's wearing mittens because her face isn't green. If her hands are green, that maybe she's got some gangrene, and I'm a little concerned. But
you know how it is.
So that is my other finish for you. I've been working on a lot of bigger stuff, and so I haven't had a lot of finishes. Plus, I keep getting distracted by one WIP for another, and we all know how that goes.
I put these bumpers back in for structure, but writing and recording for them really slows down the editing process, so they'll probably be less elaborate now that I'm in the videos. Unless you guys and dolls want me to keep them fancy. I'm easy like that.
Help me keep an eye out for the cat since I don't have a better place to put them.
Put them in the bag.
Yeah, but then I have to fight to get the other things out of the bag.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, I have one new start for you.
I have a cup of coffee. Try to ignore it.
Actually, this is a new start, but yet something you've seen before because it is another Shawshank sampler. That's another reason I haven't gotten a lot done on my other WIPs is because I got another order for a Shawshank sampler right before Frogwarts.
If it was one of you.
This was right after Frogwarts, and I was like, darn, I can't work on my projects that I want to. But I still am glad to have it. So I started this on July 18th, and so I've been working on it for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow, actually. I am very close to being done. I just have the rest of the filigree over here. There's the word his, the letter A, and then there's another green here, and then I need to do the dark red around in the border, and I'll be all done.
We're getting a lot of flicker in this camera. It's not a good camera, I think. We're going to have to figure out what to do about that.
Yeah, it does not like bright things.
We're going to have to switch to using a phone or something before we...
Maybe.
Before too long. I don't know. We'll figure it out for next time.
So that is my only new start. It is on 11 count Ivory Ada, and there are only 4 colors.
That's not very many colors.
It is not.
It is a cool sampler. I love that movie.
Yeah, Shawshank is an awesome movie.
Oh man, it's one of my favorites. All of the Darabont Stephen King adaptations are excellent.
Yeah, him and Mike Flanagan, excuse me, seem to be the best at adapting Stephen King stuff. All right, so now on to WIPs. Once we murder the cat, maybe. He is being naughty, as per usual.
What are you doing? Come here. Or don't. Behave yourself. Behave yourself, cat.
I love a parade.
All right. My first WIP for you is the Deadly Aquarium Sal by Lola Crow. I started this for my birthday start this year on April 20th. It is on 32 count Sequoia by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. I've talked about why I like this fabric for this. I think it looks like tide pools and it just makes me think of the ocean. There are 32 colors in the whole design and I'm doing it 2/2. If you watched my last Flosstube, you will notice that I actually have less done than I did the first time that I showed it. That is because I made a mistake with the pattern. So I thought I had gotten to the bottom and I had the first pelican, or excuse me, not pelican, seagull.
Manny, look at this pelican flying. Come on, pelican.
Done on the bottom here. And I got all of exhibit 1 in. But when I went to put in the seaweed, I noticed that it wasn't lining up with the gaps here. So I went and I was like, everything's lining up on the bottom. Why isn't this working? And it turns out underneath these 4 little green stitches, there was some more green stitches that were 5 rows worth. And then there was another set of green stitches that looked like a 4. Well, I did the 4, but I skipped the one above that. So I was missing 5 lines. And with all the things coming in to fill it in, I didn't think I could frog it and get away with it. Or I didn't think I could fudge it and get away with it. So I've spent the last couple of days frogging this between working on other things. partially to keep my sanity.
She couldn't fudge it, so she said and she decided to frog it.
Yes, exactly. As many of us have had to do. I'm just glad that I hadn't done the whole frame and thought I had the whole bottom, because that would have really sucked.
Oh, you got a whole bottom.
My baby, oh my baby got a bad butt.
Oh, thank you very much. But the plus side is I wasn't exactly happy with my stitches in the eel. So, and I was just gonna, whatever, it's fine. Nobody will notice it once I finish everything. But now I get to redo those so that they look the way I wanted them to. I might take a break from doing the Exhibit 1 again and try to do Exhibit 2, which is the seaweed and the pufferfish, before I go back to Exhibit 1 since I've already done it once.
It's in your bag.
Hey!
Oh, what you expect?
Come here. Mister, there is stuff in there that could hurt you. Let's see, Daddy. I know you want Daddy to be out in the living room so you can sit between his legs.
This is my cat.
Yes, he follows him everywhere.
He is a magical creature. Look at how precious he is. Look.
He is precious.
He is the most precious kitty. All right, what's next?
The cat, apparently. This is my next work in progress.
Watch out with your cup.
Hey, don't get my water, please. Problem is he thinks needles are bugs. So I can't have him on the table while I have needles. You can get up there. You want to hang out up in the back? That's fine. My next WIP for you is Sepita by Maroomy Designs. I started this on August 14th of 2023. It is on 32 count Yellowstone by Needle Bling. I'm doing it 1/1.
Cats, am I right?
Hold that. I apparently have to have someone guard my cross stitch when it's in a bag. And I am using a variegated DMC thread, Midsummer Night, number 4240. I decided to reverse the design, so the parts that I'm leaving yellow are what were designed to be stitched. I thought it would be awesome if the sun and its rays were yellow, and the night sky part, or the dusk sky part, was the blue that you would see at a dusk away from the sun. And then I have finally, this is going to be the big pomegranate, and I finally gotten to the right of the design right before the border. So I think it's turning out nicely. And she does have the cutest little lips there.
I agree.
Next is the Overlook Sal by Robin Allen. I started this July 5th of 2023, the day of the starts. It is on 32 Belfast Linen Stormy Cloud. I'm doing it 2/2. And I've started the frame. I got tired of the frame, so I jumped in to room 1, which is the twins. I altered it just a little bit. The red here is called for. It's the sparkly DMC Etoile.
You know they're not twins.
They're not twins?
No, they're different. One's 2 years older than the other one.
Oh,
more
it's
like you and Barbara than
yeah.
twins.
But they look more alike than we do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the Kubrick film, but in the book, they're not twins.
That's right. You're right.
One is
I always think
9
of
and one is 7.
I always think visually.
Actually, the girls that they have playing them aren't twins either. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, no, in the book they're not twins.
You're right. I've forgotten that because I
look right up because I'm reading the book right now.
Yeah, you are.
So again, I haven't read it in a long time. Actually, I'm listening to it on audiobook, read by Campbell Scott. He's a pretty good reader.
Yeah. So I used the Etoile called for, but what I did is I've never tried the 1/1 skin that a lot of people do. So that is what I am doing here for them. And it does make an interesting difference between the texture in their clothes and the texture in their skin. So I kind of like that. And I just did tent stitch too. I didn't do full crosses. So
shame on you.
There are some people who do the entire, like, all the heights in 10 stitch. And
Just lazy.
And I'm like, well, isn't that just needlepoint if that's all you do? Because
That's kind of true.
Yeah. But, you know, whatever makes you happy. And heights are really big. And I get kind of like, as long as you get the coverage you want, not maybe trying to save some time, especially if you're doing 20 of them, which some people are. So I was out of the bow. The bow was like $8.19. I didn't have any, so I had to get some. So I skipped around it and started doing the skin. The first piece of fabric I got for this, if I'd done it 1/1, it would have been like just teeny, like just that big. And I'm like, the Overlook Hotel's too evil to be that small. So, because it is evil.
Yeah, it is.
It is very evil. Still want to go to the Stanley.
Well, the Stanley's not evil.
No, the Stanley's not evil, but they actually, they have a special thing at the Stanley. It's more expensive, where you can like stay in the rooms that are mentioned in the movie and are dealt with in the movie, and like a haunted room, and like it's an extra experience that they'll give you, like the Stephen King experience and I thought that was pretty cool. Unnecessary expensive, but
I want to take a bath in that bathtub.
As long as there's
it's a nice bathroom. It's all
is.
that green they use in that, man.
It's beautiful.
Well, it's a beautiful movie. Everything about it's beautiful.
Well, you could pretend you're doing that with the green screen if you want.
I suppose I could.
You could. You can put us in that bathroom while I'm showing my Overlook Sal. My next WIP for you is Dancing in the Moonlight by Praiseworthy Stitches. I started this May 29th in 2023. I am using the called for threads except for one replacement because my LNS was out of it. I have put a pause on doing the bird's beaks because I am out of that color. I think that's the one the cat found and messed up.
Probably.
Yeah. So since the last time you saw it, I've gotten more of the fence done and I added the doggo. So once I get all the stitches in, then I will put it on a scroll frame and do the beading and the little buttons that go with it. I think it's looking really nice. I really like the effect in the fence for the variegated thread. And I like the pumpkins a lot too. I did have the back stitch on the cat done, but I didn't like the way it was looking, so I took it out and I'm going to redo it. So that's where I'm at on this one.
About to backstitch our cat.
My next WIP for you is Halloween Fairy by Nora Corbett. I started this on October 3rd of 2023. It is also on 32 count Yellowstone by Needle Bling, and I'm doing it 2/2. When I started her, I thought about doing the 1/1 for the skin, and I was too nervous to give it a try. So I did not do that with her. Since you saw this last, I got her arm done. I started doing some of the sparklies here. I've got her hair done except for the beads. I added her lips, and I got her crown done. Kreinik is a pain in the butt, as we all know, but it turns out so pretty.
Yeah, it looks really great.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
Yeah, I am excited to get down to the pumpkins. One of the people I was doing frogworts with, she's also working on this, and she's got down to the pumpkins, but she changed them. They're not orange. I think she turned them to these gray colors that looks really cool too. So it's kind of neat to see how people change things up and vary it to make it fit their own things. It's the same design and it can look completely different with just a couple of color changes.
Right.
But I really like oranges, and not so much to wear, but like the orange leaves and the autumn colors on stuff. Like that's my preferred colors for things, decorative things.
Sure.
That and like jewel tones, I guess. Like the model house with the maroon and the green and the blue.
Sure.
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Those, I like those kind of tones too.
Back in the old days when I worked at Perry Homes.
Yes, and we would clean model homes on the weekends.
Yeah, Perry Homes in Texas where I cleaned them all. That was the mid-90s.
That was the mid-90s.
That was a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
All right. The final WIP I have for you that I've worked on in recent memory is The Kingdoms of Lifestyle by Stitchonomy.
I love this one. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really like it.
I'm a sciencey guy and I love biology, so I love this stuff.
I started this on July 4th of 2023.
America!
Yeah, and this was my 4th of July start last year. This is DMC 14 count fabric that I got at Michael's. For once, you can actually kind of see the variegation. I'm not putting my hand in the screen because if I do, the camera will start flickering again. I liked this for this project because the greens and the blues made me think very natural things. I've got 2 sections complete. I'm working on the plants. There's a sunflower, there's wheat. I think there's some daisies in there that are really tiny. There's like a pine tree and some other things. I would have to look up what some of the plant names are because I don't know them all by glancing at them in the simple form. But they do have a cheat sheet that comes with it, so you can look. There are 12 no wait, wrong picture. There are 25 colors and I'm doing it 2/1. I really love it. I still think that the one unicell organism looks like a watermelon. And I am looking very much to getting to the next part, which is the top section by the plants, and that is the animals. And there's an elephant and some other really fun things. So
Neat.
Yeah. So this one is fun. And
is there monkeys?
I think there might be a monkey. I don't remember.
Monkeys.
I think there might be a lemur, actually.
Well, that's a monkey.
It is. So looking forward to getting to the animals.
It's so wee.
It is so wee.
It's very wee.
It is very wee. I'm trying to decide if I want to move it in closer. Or just
zoom it.
Okay. Now to my WIPs that I have not worked on in quite some time. This one is the Furry Tales cross-stitching mounts from the world of cross-stitching. It is designed by Lucie Heaton. I took this with me to work to start to do on my lunch break sometimes. I started it on March 11th of this year. I haven't shared this with you before because it was at work until the end of the school year. And then it was in my backpack, hidden away among all the stuff that I had taken out of my desk last minute. It's just on the 14 count Aida that came with it. There are only 12 colors and I'm doing it 2/1. This is one of those, I should just do it because it would take me like less than a day to finish that up.
Oh, agreed.
And then you put it in a little card and then you wait to find the right person to give it to.
Right.
But yeah. And the little mice characters, there's a Scottish one in a kilt that is so cute with even the little tam hat.
Tam O'Shanter?
Yes.
Yeah, Tam O'Shanter.
So I just need to get my butt together and get it done. So my next finish will probably be the Shawshank sampler and then this one because I should just do it and get it done.
Well, there's a lot to get together.
Yes, it is.
My baby, oh my baby.
Sometimes you're such a jerk. All right. My next one that I am going to share with you is Fortune Teller by Jessie Schoefield. This was out of Just Cross-Stitch magazine from last year. I started this on October 5th of 2023. It is on 40 Count Haunted. It is on 40 Count Haunted by Seraphim. I am doing it 1/1. Or excuse me, 1/2. And there are 20 colors. I haven't touched this. It's beautiful, but so many other things have grabbed my attention. There's actually another one in the new Halloween that I want to put on the same fabric as this to make them partner pieces, which I'll show you a little later.
They're both so cool.
They're
really
cool.
Great designs, and I like them quite a bit, yeah.
I don't think the other one's designed by the same person.
Well, it looks very similar.
It does. So everything is 1/2 except for the black. The pattern called for 3 strands instead of 2, but I'm just doing it 2 strands because I'm on 40 count. So, but the idea is to make it a little thicker so it stands out and gives you that, like it's closer to you because the trees are in front of the rest of the scene. I really do need to get back to this, but I say that about all my projects.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, you got a lot of them going on.
I do. And the thing is that I have very few compared to some.
I suppose.
I was watching somebody, they had a 4-hour WIP parade.
That's too many whips.
And it was like 135.
Oh no, that's like
Yeah, I would need
Devo videos.
I would need like 2 rooms just to store all of that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
I'd have to kick you out of bed so I'd have a place for it.
Oh, but I like my bed.
I do. Yeah, I know.
It's nice and comfortable.
It is actually pretty
I gotta
comfortable.
lay down somewhere.
You do. And none of our couches are long enough for you.
No. I mean, maybe the leather one, but it smells like a dog.
It does. Because that's the dog's.
Because that's where the dog is.
Yeah. We're going to have to do this in pieces.
Like so many things in my life.
All right. So I have not worked on Frogwarts. Since Frogwarts. And when I did my recap video, I really just showed my year 5. But I did make some progress since I showed this with you last time because I had to get down to year 5 from the top because I was doing the footprints. And I've already talked about the math problems that apparently went over to my Deadly Aquarium Sal. So maybe I was working on them about the same time. Maybe my brain was just fried from the summer. I don't know. But I do have Hedwig done here. I have the burrows done. And I started a little bit on the basilisk tail and this little tiny spider. And for the back stitch for the spider, I used some the white etoile to give it a little bit of a sparkle like spider silk. I've got the eyelets on the left-hand sides done for each of these, or as Teresa calls them, cat buttholes. She calls them cat butthole stars. Butthole stars is what she calls them. She thinks they look like buttholes. And I guess they kind of do.
They look a little like buttholes.
If you do them in pink,
they don't look like my butthole.
I don't know what that looks like, and I don't want to know. So
it's a blasted wasteland.
And then I was trying to finish at least one motif in each year before year 5 started, and then I ran out of time because I had another Shawshank sampler. So I got most of the night bus done and part of Protego. Or not Protego, because that's in a different one. I think that's Ridiculous. I can't remember. And then I did the Quidditch hoops, 2 of them, and the port key. And I started on the letters. And then, if you watched my recap, you will have already seen where I got to at the end of Frogwarts. I got my Weasleys done. I got my Neville done.
I love Neville.
Neville's one of my favorites. They do not show how awesome he is in the movies.
I mean, he's pretty awesome even in the movies, but he's even more awesome in the books.
He is. I'm hoping that when they do the TV version and they're supposed to be like almost word for word from the books.
That's going to be interesting.
That they do Neville justice.
I hope so.
Because he was the other chosen one.
Kind of.
Or the other potential.
Yeah, he's like the backup chosen one.
They were born on the same day. And when I was doing the ears here, I thought they looked kind of weird, but now that I've stepped back from them, they actually... I was like, the colors seem off. But then when I think about it, I was like, no, they were artificial ears. That it looks actually really good.
That's a fun bit in the movie.
It is.
Like in the book, it's like, oh yeah, ears. But like in the movie, when you actually see them dangling from the thing, it's a fun bit.
I kind of wish they had put the cat attacking.
Oh sure.
One of the ears.
Crookshanks.
Yeah, Crookshanks. That would have been cool. And this is Nagini's tongue.
Some kind of lizard.
Uy, no me tenga, yo una calvesa. Me de boca me lo digo, mano.
Some kind of lizard. Or a snake. My next non-whip, I guess. I haven't worked on it in forever. This is Letters from Hogwarts by Cunning Crossstitch. It is no longer available on his website. I started it on August 24th of 2023. I am doing it on 32 count stone gray Belfast linen. There are 44 colors and it's 2/2. This is a choose your own adventure. So there's a border and then there's different segments that you do and you roll dice to determine, like if you aren't sure of what your Hogwarts house would be, you can roll a dice, or you roll the dice to figure out what class you're going to be in that year, what Quidditch team, that kind of thing. Or if you're going to do Quidditch or something else. This is my 3rd Harry Potter project because I did 2 different versions of the Golden Snitch for one. I gave them to 2 friends of mine, both teacher friends. One was Teresa and the other was an English teacher that I worked with at the junior high. I've got my wand picked out. I just haven't finished stitching it. I am going to, I think, have to go back in and do some back stitching in the wand because
Agreed.
It's kind of fading into the yellow and to the each color. Sorry, I had to check on the cat. But I've gotten a lot of the train done. But, you know, here's Hogwarts. So I just have to get back to it. Again, I'm going to be saying that a lot. Okay, come here. All right. All right. So my next project for you that I haven't worked on in a while is Rare Horror Flies by Noctifloradesigns. He really wants some attention. So I'm trying to combine the two things. It is on Deadly Blooms by Witch's Garden Crafts. I started it on August 3rd of 2023. It's 18 count with 18 colors, and I'm doing it 2/1. And I was just looking at this and thinking, you know what? I should have cut the fabric different, or because if I had cut it different, if I had rotated this, doing it 2/1, I could have used just half the fabric. I think I was supposed to do it 2/2. But that's okay. It looks just fine this way.
I think it looks great.
It does, but
It
I was just thinking
that fabric really
it does, but my thing is that this is such pretty fabric. I wish I had changed the orientation.
Oh, yeah, so you have extra fabric left
Since
there.
I am only doing it 2/1.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I wish I had done it that way.
Yeah, well, like we were saying earlier, where you could make some buttons out of what's left over. That's pretty good.
But there is like several inches down at the bottom that I could trim off some. And I did kind of arrange it so that I could get the color streaking that I wanted in the project. But at the same time, I'm also like, oh, this is so pretty. I want to use it for other stuff too. And I have generous margins, but most of them aren't big enough to. But the bottom, I could definitely use something. But I love the brightness. I love the colors. And I'm actually pretty much like maybe 50% done. If I worked on it, it would probably be done pretty quickly. I love the variation here with the greens. That's 3 different greens to shade it. And it just really gives it kind of a wonderful color to it. See, that's what he wanted. He just wanted some daddy attentions.
Oh, he's my good baby. He's my good baby and I love him.
My next one for you is Dead Outlaw Female by Night Spirit Studio. I started this on June 25th of 2023. It's on 14 count pecan by Fabric Flair. It's a printed fabric. There are 6 colors. I'm doing it 2/1. I kept getting distracted with new things. I need to return to this. I used a toile in the barrel of the gun to give it some sparkle, to make it feel like metal. I switched this and used some metallic thread for her flowers on her dress because it's her show outfit, because this is based on Annie Oakley. And I finally got to the top, and here at the bottom I will be replacing the date that was there with the year of our wedding. And I'm trying to decide. I was thinking I could do the month and the day on one and the year on the other.
If you like.
Because when I'm done with this one, I'm gonna do the male. I think I'm gonna leave the original words on both of them, but I thought it would be fun. And then I figured since there's 2 of them, I could combine the 2 into making our full wedding date.
Sure.
I was just gonna do the year, but now I realized, oh wait, I got 2. It's just numbers. I can make a dash between the month and the...
Did they have months when we got married?
I don't know. It was a really long time
I think
ago.
it predates calendars, doesn't it?
So, I think she's beautiful, and I can't wait to get back to her. Of course, it'll be forever because I've got too many WIPs, but I love every one of them.
I really like that one too. I know I've said that about the last few, but I really like the cowboy ones. Looking forward to having those done, hanging on the wall. I think they're neat.
Yeah, I think they'll be really cool. I already have frames for them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There was a sale going on. This is my next WIP that I haven't worked on in a while, and it is a storybook Halloween by Stitchonomy. This was one of the first sales I ever did. It was free, and I love horror movies and Halloweens. I also started this on July 5th of last year. It is on 14 count oatmeal Aida. There are 19 colors and I'm doing it 2/1.
Oatmeal.
Here's Pennywise the Clown. You've got vampire teeth. This will be a scarecrow. I think that's
I don't know, House on Haunted Hill, maybe?
House on Haunted Hill or something
maybe
like
the House
that.
of Usher?
Yeah, so I am using black étoile for the border, and I just need to get back to it. I'm really looking forward. There's like a really cool black cat and some things like that. This would be a good one to take into a school and see how many of the horror movies the kids could guess.
You're never going to finish that.
I am going to finish it.
Never going to finish
I will.
No, never going to happen.
Is that a challenge?
I'm just saying.
This is the Wisdom stocking by Hade. It is a pared down version of Wisdom that they did, and I requested it, and it's a stocking. It is by Sherry Gerhardt. I started this on August 11th, 2021. Yeah, it's my oldest WIP.
I'm saying.
It's on 25 count Lugana. There are 84 colors, and I'm doing it 2/1. I do really need to get back to this so that, you know, our child has it for their stocking and before they're old and gray.
I'm just saying.
So.
Monkey's never going to put an orange in that thing. That's all I can tell you.
We never put oranges in the stockings anyway.
We did when I was a kid. That was what my parents always put oranges in.
Right, but we didn't do it with her.
There was candy in there too. Lots of candy, but always an orange too. These days I just get chocolate oranges, which I vastly prefer, even if they are much worse for me.
Yes. Next is Seductive Kermit by the Witchy Stitcher. I started this on August 2nd of 2023. It is on 32 count Black Laguna, or Lugana. I'm not the only one who does that, by the way.
I understand.
There are plenty of floss tubers who say Laguna instead of Lugana. There are 12 colors and I'm doing it 1/2. I am not stitching the black stitches since it's on black fabric, except for his eyeballs because they looked weird because it went into his head. I do need to get back to this. I did get a little bit done since I showed it to you last because I had a green stitch with green thread. So he now has legs, partial legs anyway. I'm still trying to figure out how I would finish this. Would I do a little decorative pillow? Would I do a flat fold? Would I frame it? I don't know yet.
Well, I don't know. I think a frame would be nice. You know, you can hang it up somewhere in the house.
Yeah.
You know,
so
mail it to Steven. Hi, Steven.
He doesn't watch.
Yeah, actually, he does.
He does?
He comments on almost every video lately.
Oh, that's true. He did comment on our Flossiversary.
Yeah, he's commented on a couple of them. Steven loves Kermit the Frog.
Yep. He does love Kermit the Frog.
Hey, y'all. We're like halfway through this video, which is where I like to do my like and subscribe bit. Finding a community is important to Amy for a lot of reasons, so if you could help us grow our channel a little, I'd be much obliged. Hit the hittables, smash the smashables, and y'all come back now. You hear?
This is Mounted Butterfly Wall by Night Spirit Studio. It is on 18 count Rusty Brown and Robin Eggs Blue fabric by Banana Oil.
Sexy.
Yes. This is so gorgeous. I wasn't planning on buying anything, and these two things popped up together on my Etsy feed, and I was like, oh my god, they're perfect together. And I will not need all of this fabric for the design because it's a very tiny design. However, I needed to place it in a certain spot to get the colors that I wanted in the background, so I didn't cut it. But there are 18 colors in the design, and I'm doing it 2/1. My biggest thing will be is in the pattern, there is fill-in in each of the little boxes for the butterflies, but I really don't want to cover up a lot of the fabric, so I'm going to do all the other stitching and leave the boxes open and see how it looks.
I think it'll look good.
Yeah. I don't know if there'll be enough of a difference between the inside of the box and the outside for things to pop the way they need to, but I think it will, so I'm just going to fill in everything else until...
I think if you went any direction with it, you might fill in the...
outside of the boxes.
In-betweens instead of the interiors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
we'll see how it looks when it gets done.
Yes. And this one is not very big. It is only... I didn't even write down. But I started this March 30th of this year.
Well, they're wee baby boxes. I thought they'd be bigger than that, you know, when you showed it to me initially before you started it. But
yeah. But again, I'm doing it 2/1. I could have done it 2/2 and made it bigger, but I kind of like it small.
You sure?
It's really cute small.
Lucky for me.
This is the It Sal by Robin Allen. You can get it in their Etsy shop. A Stitch in My Side is what they call their shop. I started this on January 6th of this year. It is on 22 count white fabric I got from my stash. There are 44 colors. I'm doing it 2/1. It is based on It by Stephen King.
My favorite book.
It and The Stand are my two favorites.
I've read it 7 times.
So,
it's my favorite Stephen King book, and therefore probably my favorite book of all time. Because my favorite author is Stephen King. It's my favorite Stephen King book.
Yeah. You started me out easy with Stephen King, though, with Firestarter.
Well, yeah, Firestarter is my big, like, if you don't like it too scary, here, read this one, you know.
It's more of a political thriller sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah. It's more of a science fiction than horror. I mean, and the horror that's in it is human horror. It's not full of, like...
supernatural
boogans and whatnot. It's also one of my favorite Stephen King stories. I love Charlie McGee.
Yeah.
And I love Drew Barrymore as Charlie McGee. I know a lot of people come down on that movie. You know, and David Keith, not to be confused with Keith David. David Keith, he was not the strongest actor in that movie. But
it wasn't about him.
It was never about him. The whole movie just rides on Drew Barrymore, and she is just absolutely magnificent, especially towards the end when she just goes all out. I love that. I love that movie, and I love that book.
Man, she still looks like a sad little girl.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So good.
So the title will be Losers Club. There'll be the monsters that the kids see here. All the parts are released. I was having a hard time seeing the one pager because it was the whole design on one page. I asked for multiple pages. Robin was very obliging so that I could see it. There is one piece or 2 pieces that I don't have in that larger print.
She's one of the nicest unicorns we've ever encountered.
Yes, that is very true. So, great customer service. I am blending 321 and the red étoile here so that if I wanted to use either color later, it would pull together better. Because maybe if there's some blood, I want to use sparkly because blood's kind of shiny. You know.
Sure. Oh man, this purple.
Yeah, this one.
You finished that yet? No.
That's what
we're halfway through this year.
That's what we're going to talk about right now. I'm going to scoot it up though. All right. I almost forgot this one. This is the Goth Temp Stitch Along. I started on January 6th of last year. I did use the extended temperature range, which was done by StitchyWitch, and the original design was done by Goth Stitch. It is on 28 count. Picture this plush French lilac. Now the reason I almost forgot this one is because all I have left to do is the back stitch.
Right. We're halfway through this year.
Well, all the temperature stuff's done. But the problem is that I started doing it in the around here, but it is almost impossible to tell where I already backstitch on the black bookcase.
Sure.
So I just haven't had and I need really good light, which I have a really good light. But
light we have in here right now?
Yeah, this would be good light. And
this is full of light. You know how many photons are in this place?
Too many. That's why you have sunglasses.
That's why I have sunglasses on. I don't think I'm too cool for school. I mean, again, as I've stated before, I was in fact too cool for school.
Yeah, you skipped a lot.
But yeah, no, there's just so much light. I'm very
photosensitive.
Yes. So I have to wear sunglasses in this kind of light. It's way too much for me.
So I love the way it turned out and everything. I just have to do the back stitch.
Photons, man.
So I've got to figure out a way to motivate myself to do the back stitch. I mean, I could get by with not back stitching it. I think if I just back stitched the plants and the books, and this would be fine. And if I skip back stitching the bookcase itself, I could probably get away with it. But I think it would look weird if I did that. So I will end up back stitching it. And then I have to do the legend that goes with it so you know what the temperatures are for the stuff. But I'm going to do that in a small piece separate.
Sure.
And then frame them together. Maybe take it to Michael's and get it where it's got the mat with the thing between.
Right.
So that it's like in the same frame. But yeah, this is just back stitches left. But you know, all of us love backstitch. So this is the Supernatural Cell by the Witchy Stitcher. I started this on October 9th of 2023. It is on 25 count Country Mocha. Yeah, Country Mocha Lugana. I'm going to have very close margins, as you can see. And there's supposed to be some bats here. It will still work, but it's close. I had this fabric and I desperately wanted to start it after I got it. So I used a piece that I had. There are 21 colors. I'm doing it 2/2. For the unicorn, I am using a 12 for the borders. I think it's 550 because it's the purple. The unicorn is Raven from Gentle Arts. This is a Weeks Dye Works Fiesta for his tail, the upside down cross mane. And I changed his horn from black to also Fiesta. I thought that was fun. And then the moon and the stars are a blend of E940, which is glow in the dark thread, and 318 for the moons, and just the Blanc white etoile. So to give him
You're my moon and stars.
I am.
No, I'm just kidding. I hate you.
Yeah, that's why we've been together so long. And I did get some of the skulls in, and I used the glow in the dark for the skulls. I skipped the ogre because I wasn't sure how I want to do him yet. If I want to use variegated floss, if I want to make him, I don't know yet, because they're green and kind of ugly. But
I'll just make him look like me.
You're not green.
No, but I am ugly.
Knew you were gonna go.
Huge.
You are huge.
Hey, I'm huge.
We'd like to ask you a few questions. How do you feel?
What do you mean, how do I feel? I feel huge. I'm a 50-foot man. Oh, no.
Do you think you're having delusions of grandeur?
Well, he's a colossal man. Of course he's having delusions. Oh, ask him another question.
Okay.
So this is a super fun stitch. I am going to change the angel into the Weeping Angel from Doctor Who.
Yay.
Somebody charted it and gave it away for free. And then in the bottom left corner is a ghost, a group of ghosts. And I'm going to change that to a hellhound that somebody else already charted, because that's more interesting than ghosts. So this is my last WIP that I've not worked on in a while. This is Cliffhanger. It is charted by Hay. The artist is Amy Stewart. It was my New Year, New Start this year. It is on 25 count Witchelt. There are 200 colors.
25 count. What now?
Witchelt. It's a brand of Witchelt.
Witchelt.
It is a brand of fabric.
Oh, I gathered that.
All right. 200 colors, and I'm doing it 2/1. This is going to take me forever anyway.
200 colors?
200 colors.
200 colors.
Yeah.
We need at least 30 of those for Stallone.
Oh yeah, that's right. You keep putting Stallone in the because of Cliffhanger. Yeah. I don't know if any of y'all caught that on our previous videos.
Oh, there's a lot of little Stallones in some of the older ones.
Yes, there are. So to round up my year so far, I have had 8 finishes, several of them the Shawshank sampler, and I currently have 21 WIPs.
That's not too bad.
That is not too bad, and I should finish Shawshank this week and probably the little mouse, because then I can just say she's done and move on. Those are all of my WIPs. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you have any comments, please feel free.
Pull out a comment card and give it to your server.
That would be him. So now I will do a little bit of haul.
Now it's all designed.
And I went to eBay and got this because I was going to do the Matilda. And I had been wanting this, but I missed it. So I basically eBayed this book to get the big Friendly Giant pattern, because Roald Doll books are awesome.
Oh, yeah. I'm very pro Roald Doll.
So it is super cute.
Oh my God, that is cute.
And I was going to do Matilda on just a plain white, but now I think I've got all these tote bags that I got at Michael's that I can cross stitch on. I think I'm going to find one for her and one for this and put them each on different color bags.
Sure.
Why not? And then I did not get this magazine for these, but they've got all these little mini Greek ones. And our kid loves Greek mythology, so this would be a nice little, we could give her some, Seize the Clay is pretty funny. But there's like some gods and goddesses in here that I think our child would really appreciate.
What about Goddess Eris?
I don't think Goddess Eris is in here.
They always leave her out.
They always do. I'll have to look
Always
closer,
leave her out.
but I can't flip through it because it's got the patterns on the same pages as
Just
everything
like
else.
when they didn't invite her to the party.
Yeah, and you know how well that goes.
Yeah.
Fairy godmothers put you to sleep with a spinning wheel. Eris gives you a golden apple and starts a war.
Mordred shows up and destroys your kingdom.
Yeah. And I do not have any babies in my family that need this, but these dinosaurs are so cute. I was thinking what you could do if you didn't have any babies is you could do each one twice and flip one so that they're opposite directions and turn them into little mini stuffies.
Sure.
That would be super cute. And I know a lot of people have already done this flip through.
I'll cover it up. It's fine.
Yep. But I want to show a few of my favorites out of here. This is another design. This owl is another design by Maroomy Crafts. This bat is adorable.
She gets around, that Maroomy.
She does. She goes on a lot of stitching trips with her friends. All right. I'm going to scoot this up so we can see. All right. This little bat is the cutest thing ever. And I love the pirate cat.
Pirate cats are cool.
Pirate cats are cool.
Cats are cool. Pirates are cool. Pirate cats, double cool.
And then here is a better look. Forgive at the owl. And our kid loves owls.
I like the colors on that.
Yeah. The design striking owl was created using designs elements typically found in Persian rugs. So all of Maroomy's designs are based in Persian and Iranian and Palestinian stuff.
Yeah, they're really sweet.
They are. They are beautiful. On here, my favorite, I think, is the graveyard with the willow tree. I really like the way the willow tree hangs over the graves. And it makes me think of the South and the trips I used to take with my grandparents.
Spanish moss.
Yeah. Not with graveyards, but they used to take us on summers. Our parents couldn't take us because they had to work. So our parents would take us to like Louisiana and other driving trips, and we would go to like plantations and stuff like that. So it reminds me of those trips. Oops.
Although plantations.
Well, it was for the historical learning bit.
I suppose.
I did get to see the inside of the house and the staircase that Gone with the Wind was based on, that they modeled it after, which was pretty cool because I was big. I was in theater and I had to do a research project in high school, and I did the 1930s, so I got to research like Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz. So I learned a lot about them. This is
My Aunt Jo had a lot of hanging Spanish moss just outside her double wide. Wasn't a plantation, just a double wide trailer with a big ass tree in the yard. A lot of moss hanging from that thing. It was nice though. There's a big tire swing on it we'd swing on.
Sorry, have I snuck in?
Didn't sneak in. You did it on purpose. I seen you. I seen it.
I think it.
This is the one I went to make a partner piece to the fortune teller on the haunted fabric.
Yeah.
I think it will pop beautifully with the purple and everything and the little glowy skull inside. This one, the artwork is by Theo de Fantasy Dreamworld, and it was adapted to cross stitch by Les Petites Croix de Lucie. And I know I just butchered the name, but I don't do French accents well.
Les Petites Croix de Lucie.
There you go. So I think that would look great with fortune teller on the same fabric, and I have a big enough piece I should be able to do it on there without a problem.
Yeah, that was so cool looking. I love the skull. I love the artistry of it. It really looks great.
Yeah, kind of makes me think of Ghost Rider from the old comics.
I suppose.
Yeah, I just thought of that, but it does. I probably will never stitch this, but it's a little cat sampler and it's adorable. StitchyWitch 42 did this, and she put it on her thing statue as its apron.
Oh, sure.
So I thought that was really cute. This little witch is cute. I love the mouse witch on the broom.
I love little mice being people. Little soldier mice, little army mice, any like red wall, the whole idea of, I think it's just like Secret of Nimh really kind of borked my brain when it comes to this.
Great movie.
Don Bluth.
Mm-hmm.
Genius,
He's
man.
underappreciated.
Way underappreciated.
And then there are these that are spider legs, like just labels for your bottles. To make it look like
those are neat.
Those are neat. I like them. Those were fun. The bats are great. I like this little shelf with the skeleton, and we've got the little goo thing with the eyes in it. That was super fun. And then of this things, these are all kind of cute, but my favorite thing is if you take a close look here at the Bride of Frankenstein, Frankie's having a great time jumping in the leaves, and she looks pissed. She's like, I'm the one doing all the work, and you're just messing it up.
Just like us.
You do all the work on the editing, and you make dinner most of the time now, too.
I love making dinner.
All right.
I love to cook.
The mailbox tried to eat the back.
I'm good at it.
You are good at it.
Hold on your ass, Fred.
We went thrifting the day before yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Got that shirt.
I bought this shirt. It's a really cool shirt. I like it a lot.
Got a brand new ironing board for $10 because my old one, the padding was shot. There was soap stains on it. It was rusty. Every time you opened it and closed it, it screeched so bad I didn't want to use it.
Got me a copper utensil bucket to put my kitchen utensils in.
That was a pretty cool find too.
Nice.
But I found some Stitchies haul there. I don't think I'm going to dye the Hardanger because I actually want to try Hardanger.
I just like the word Hardanger.
Yeah, it's a fun word. And then this is this pale light blue, so I think I might take that and just see what happens when you take the pale light blue.
Might as well.
But I thought this was a perfect way, and I have one other piece that we got for 99 cents to test out dyeing.
Today's a good day to dye.
And to see what I could get. Now, this wasn't my only find at our discount shop. And they're called charity shops over in England.
Charity shop.
Mm-hmm. I saw this little bag of floss. And I was thinking, oh, that's cool. Let me see. It was $3.49. This is 30 skeins plus 2 partial skeins, and there was a needle hiding in it. I paid $3.49 for 30 skeins of DMC. This is sweet. Most of it's $8.20. There's some $3.04 and stuff. And I don't really need the black because I have a Cone of Doom.
Cone of Doom.
That I haven't even broke into yet. But that's okay. But I thought that was a great deal.
It is a great deal.
So now I have to put it away.
We did the math on it. It was quite a bit of...
It was like $23.70 if I had bought it.
And that's with your discount at Michael's.
No, that was ignoring tax and discount. That was just the straight up 79 cents at Michael's.
Right.
Excuse me, kitty. All right, come here. Can you get back up there? Okay.
Nerd. Well, what? Come here.
It's like, y'all are supposed to be sitting down so I can cuddle.
Come here. Come here. I'll rub your belly.
All right.
He likes his belly.
He actually
rub.
does. He will roll over to give you better access to his belly. Such a weird cat. All right, so that was haul. Next is plans.
I don't even believe you have a plan. I have part of a plan.
So in between this Flosstube and the last Flosstube, I joined the fandom stitching group. So now I'm trying to work out how to do my Magical Stitches monthly challenges along with my fandom weekly challenges. I joined the WiP Go Facebook group so I can figure that out for next year. I think I kind of already know how I'm going to utilize WiP Go with my other challenges, but I wanted some time to plan before jumping in. On the 24th, Teresa and Natasha and Tasha, who we met at Frogworks, and they're also in Minnesota, we're going to take a car trip together and make a day trip down to Welcome Stitchery, the only LNS left in Minnesota. It's like a 3-hour drive.
Down in Blue Earth.
Down in Blue Earth, yep.
Yeah.
So I'm getting together I'm planning on doing 50 starts next year for my 50th birthday because I'm an insane lady. So between now and next year, my goal is to get as many of my WIPs done as possible. So then pare that down. And I'm looking at what I already have kitted up. I'm going to use a lot of little kits that came with like my World of Cross Stitching. And that's what I'm going to do for my plans for the rest of the year, is just focus on getting as much done on my WIPs as possible. And probably at least one more Shawshank sampler.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. I am going to tell him next year. I told him I wasn't available from this date to this date, and I got another order like 2 days after that. So I think I'm going to tell him from the time 2 weeks before to through the end of Frogwarts, I'm on vacation. Next is shoutouts. I recently started watching Black Ribbon Stitch Studio, Denise. I had been following her for a little bit on people's recommendations, or I'd subscribed to her, but trying to go through everybody on Flosstube takes a little while. And so I finally got to watch her. She is very funny. She's very, I don't know, fiery and passionate about her cross stitch. Like, she's got a great sense of humor, but I also think that you don't want to get on her bad side. She does a lot of animal projects. She does stuff that's more primitive in a little bit than what I do. Cat, don't do it.
Meow, meow.
And she does some seasonal. I am not a primitive stitcher. I'm not a big sampler, but I still like watching other people do that stuff because it's still beautiful. It's just not something I want to stitch, but I like to watch people do a variety of projects, and I like to see how they enjoy their time and the kind of projects they do. And a lot of it, I'm like, ooh, that's gorgeous, but I don't want to make it myself. I just want to look at somebody else making it, and I'm good.
Right.
Then I also started watching Criss XrossStitch. His manner is very calm and soothing.
It doesn't make you jump?
No, he doesn't. He's very welcoming, and he actually kind of reminds me of Mr. Rogers.
Sure.
He says he calls all of the cross-stitch community his neighbors. And he even has neighbor corners where people who don't have floss tubes, he'll show off their work that they've finished if they send it to him.
I don't know. Sounds like a Daddy Mac to me.
And he's like, welcome. And his tone of voice and his mannerisms are make me feel very Mr. Rogers like zone sometimes. He has a lot of great projects. He does a variety of stuff. So it was really nice to see him do it. I was doing a thing when I was watching Flosstube where I'd pick one person, I'd try to binge all their videos. But then I miss a lot of people. So now I'm like trying to go through all my subscription list and at least watch one video of everybody, and the people that I'm already caught up on, stay caught up on.
Sure.
So those are my 2 shout outs for the week. Criss XrossStitch spells his thing weird. So when you go to do the edit thing,
I'll find him.
yeah.
I'll find all of you.
Yes. But both of them
Can't hide from me.
both of them are very nice and fun to watch. So that is all the cross-stitching stuff. If you wish to say goodbye, then goodbye. I hope you come by again sometime.
Don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way up.
Life updates.
Life. Don't talk to me about life.
If you've been following me or you've been watching me for a while, you know that I was kept from my job for budgetary reasons. And and I've been looking for a job this summer. I did get a job offer. Is that what he wants?
He likes to drink out of my cup, but I guess he doesn't want you right now.
I did get a job offer, and it is at a local high school here in town. I will be teaching 9th grade earth science, which I've never done before. It's out of my licensure.
Or maybe he does.
Oh, there he goes. He's so goofy.
You can't see it on the camera.
That's so funny. So that's good that I have a job for next year. It is less than I was making at the previous job, so we'll have to do some economizing.
We'll figure it out.
But we always figure it out. Any other things that you can think of that are going on?
I don't know.
I
My
think
health is always weird, and I gotta maybe get some shots from my pain doctor. We did rule out a lot of things.
Well, that's always good.
You know, we kind of had I was kind of having a bit of a cancer scare there for a while because we had some things going on that could have been, but it turned out to not be, so it was fine.
That was really good.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, like everything's okay. I got a lot going on, but I don't really talk about my stuff. So.
Yeah. So I've got my orientation on August 8th. I've got my new teacher, like from the 12th through the 15th of August. And then I'll be driving only 17 minutes instead of an hour.
Which, you know, I mean, the gas that we're going to not pay for is going to, you know, help a lot with that. You know, and it is a pay cut and it will be less money, but like at the same time, she'll be not driving in the car constantly.
I won't have to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
That's like, it's, you know, there's a certain trade for work-life balance in that particular instance.
I won't have to get up at 4:30. I won't have to leave the house at 5:30 every morning to make sure I get to work on time.
Yeah.
I won't have to worry about plowed roads because it's all in town.
She'll have more time for herself, which is nice.
What is with you today, Kat?
Whatever, man. Just talk around it.
Ow!
Nerd.
So nothing really exciting going on for life then, other than that I got a job, which is great. So books and movies, I guess, is next.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. Especially the movies part.
Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. Everything's cool.
I read Birdbox by Josh Malerman. It is what the Netflix movie was based on. It was really good. I think it was much more intense than the movie. They made a lot of changes for the movie, and I can see why they made those changes, and I don't want to say too much because I think that would provide some spoilers. But if you like the movie, I really do recommend the book. It was,
for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely, I think it was much more complex than it was shown to be in the movie. There was a lot more going on. There was more characters. It was, as I said, I don't want to say too much and give it away, but it was really good. I liked it better than the movie.
Sure.
I still enjoy the movie, but I liked it better than the movie.
I don't read books much anymore because I have a hard time concentrating on the page. But I have started listening to audiobooks again. And I did Project Hail Mary.
Which I haven't read.
Yeah, by Andy Weir, who did The Martian. And I highly recommend it, especially the audiobook. The guy reading it, I forget his name off the top of my head. I don't have notes.
You can always pop it in when you do that.
But the guy reading it does a really great doing of doing all the little characters and does little voices and stuff. And it's a really, really great read to listen to. And then also I did did Fellowship of the Ring. I'm going to do Two Towers and Return of the King soon, but I did the audiobooks of those that were read by Andy Serkis, who played Gollum in the movies. And they're really good because I love Andy Serkis. He's like one of my favorite actors in the whole wide world.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
His ability to emote in a motion capture environment is just absolutely above and beyond anybody else that is in the business today.
And he trains other actors.
Yeah, yeah, he does. He's the guy, you know. And his work on the new Planet of the Apes movies is just absolutely phenomenal. His role as Caesar is, if you haven't seen those, see those. His role as Caesar is just fantastic. Like man, I love those movies and I love him.
Yep. So that's the book I have for you this week.
That's what I have for you.
Yeah. And next is movies. We've been watching all the Godzilla movies. We started with Godzilla 1954 and been working our way through anything connected in the chronology of Godzilla.
Oh yeah, we watched a few that are sort of outside the, you know, because at a certain point, original director Ishiro Honda sort of gets thrown off the Godzilla movies because he doesn't want to make them as silly as they want to make them. They start being made for children after a few, and they do get a bit silly, but they're still fun. But we still watched a couple of his outside the Godzilla verse kind of movies, which was Frankenstein versus Baragon. I
just wanted to see how they made Frankenstein go up against kaiju.
You know, well, for one thing, they didn't make him quite as big as, you know, he was only 20 feet tall and it was a small kaiju. And then, but then the second, the sort of semi-sequel to Frankenstein versus Baragon, the American version called Frankenstein Conquers the World. We were both watching all the original Japanese versions. I've never seen really all the original Japanese versions. Most of the time I watched those movies is when I was a kid, and you see the bad dubs and the lip flaps not matching and all that stuff. But this next one, of course, we watched was War of the Gargantuas, which is a lot of people's favorite of the outside the Godzilla movies, like kaiju movies.
Yeah.
And that one's a lot of fun. There's a lot of like major like directors and celebrities who cite that as one of their favorite, like Quentin Tarantino absolutely loves War of the Gargantuas. But it was directed by Yoshiro Honda, who did the original 1954 Godzilla. And he was an amazing director. He doesn't get a lot of credit because he mostly directed Godzilla movies, these big silly monster movies that people think of, big silly monster movies. But he was best friends with Akira Kurosawa. Like Kurosawa was making his movies for Toho right alongside Ishiro Honda, and Ishiro Honda or Kurosawa would come and sit on set while Honda was filming and stuff. So like when you're watching Godzilla movies, sometimes, especially if you see Ishiro Honda's name at the beginning of it as the director, when you're watching those movies, a lot of the times Kurosawa was on set somewhere watching the filming, and he's Akira Kurosawa. In fact, they share several actors. One of the main scientist guy, the old man scientist from the first Godzilla from 1954, he was also in Seven Samurai. He was in Akiru. He was in Redbeard. He was in a bunch of Kurosawa's films. He's an amazing actor, but I can't think of his name right off the top of my head.
And I have never really seen the Godzilla movies before. And I was quite struck by some of the cinematography. The shots, even in black and white, were just beautiful.
Especially everything sort of before Invasion of the Astro Monster.
Yeah, and it was how strong the women characters were for the time. Like, there's always a prominent woman who makes suggestions and are kind of ignored at first, and then people end up going, "Oh wait, yeah, no, we should just do that."
yeah, women get listened to a lot in those.
And one of the funniest things was there was one where they were doing some sort of government meeting and like talking about the Godzilla problem and everything. And there's actually a housewife delegation involved. And I'm like trying to find out if there was actually a representative for housewives in Japanese government in the 1940s. But
they literally had a delegate for the housewives.
So that they could have their say.
Having their say.
So I don't know if that was just a movie thing or if it was something that actually happened to Japan back then. So I'm kind of curious to find that out. But the other movie that I wanted to recommend is called The Lake.
Oh yeah, that was good.
It is a creature feature from Thailand. And I don't think I've ever seen anything from Thailand. No, there was one other you said that I had seen.
When Ong Bak the Thai Warrior, you've seen that one. It's an old martial arts movie. Which is really good.
So at the beginning of the movie, there's this egg on the lake shore, and some people pick it up and take it away. This kind of ticks off its parent. I don't know if mom, dad, or what. So then the creatures start catching him. He's gonna knock that off.
Hey, you.
They start attacking people, and things go horribly, horribly wrong. But I mean, there's environmental commentary. I don't know, it would be low budget for Hollywood.
It was one of the biggest budget Thailand movies kind of ever made.
And there's a few spots where the creature looks a little bit.
The CGI,
and a couple of spots.
But the movie was very much influenced by Jurassic Park. On top of, just being a sort of a Godzilla style, kaiju kind of flick.
The acting was really good.
So they use a lot of practical effects for the close-up for the monsters. So anytime there's like a close-up of the monster, it's an actual like practical effect, which looked really good. There's a lot of trickery of using showing the monster mostly in the rain and things like that in order to sort of hide the lower quality CGI, but it's very effective.
It worked really well. It was really good. It was really engaging. And the only other thing I did was we went and saw they re-released Never Ending Story in theaters for 2 days for its 40th anniversary, and we went and saw that because I had never seen it in theaters.
Yeah, that was fun.
I only got to see it on TV, and there were so many details that I hadn't noticed on TV that when I saw them on the big screen, it was like, oh my God, look at that! So that was fun. But so if you're one of the younger people in Flosstube land and you've never seen the Never Ending Story, I highly recommend. If you like creature features, Godzilla in the Lake.
We watched Deadpool, Wolverine.
And Deadpool and Wolverine, we just saw that a couple of days ago.
I don't need to tell you how awesome that was because it's like the biggest budget R-rated movie of all time right now. 8th biggest opening in history.
It was...
Made its budget back in one weekend.
It was hilarious. It was violent. Do not take the children.
I mean, unless they're cool children.
Unless you are comfortable with a lot of sex jokes and
cool
stuff like that.
But if you have lame, little girly children, I shouldn't say girly, right?
No.
If you have lame children,
you shouldn't say that in this day and age either.
I suppose, right? If your children suck, and they're
wimpy,
little babies, don't take them. But if they're cool children, it's okay to take them.
Yes, but there is a lot of adult humor.
Oh, a lot of adult humor.
A ton of adult humor.
A ton of adult humor.
And the opening sequence, was it the Backstreet Boys or?
They do a big, he does basically the whole dance for Bye 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 from NSYNC.
Yeah, that's who it was.
From the music video for NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye.
In between beating up guys in the opening credit sequence. He does the whole dance.
Except for the part where there's a superhero landing in the video where Justin Timberlake comes down and lands.
See, I've never seen the video.
Just like I've seen I watched the Screen Crush breakdown of it after we watched it, and
gotcha.
Where it breaks down all the different inside jokes and references
stuff,
and everything. So there is a superhero landing in it where Justin Timberlake lands, on the one knee with his fist down on the ground.
Captain America style.
Yeah. He doesn't. That's the only part he doesn't.
Now I kind of want to go watch that with you, so I can know all
the Screen Crush thing.
Yeah.
He does the one thing or he doesn't do the one thing that is most appropriate for a superhero movie. But other than that, he does the whole dance, bye bye bye, the whole little head shake and everything.
And there's a lot of Ryan Reynolds wearing the Deadpool outfit, lovingly rubbing his own butt.
There's a lot of butt grabbing. There's one scene where he in order to cut back to a flashback or whatever, the camera pans around his body and goes into his butt.
Yeah.
That's at the beginning.
So if that is not your kind of humor, maybe avoid it. But oh my God, it was so much fun.
Not to mention the hilarious desecration of a corpse.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we won't get into it.
Well, it's at the very beginning, though.
It is at the very beginning, but it's still absolutely hilarious. If you like the Deadpool movies, then it is hands down.
And if you want to see Hugh Jackman shirtless, there's that too.
He's gonna be shirtless in Marvel movies till he's 90.
Till you're 90, man. All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please.
I have a lot more. Really, honestly, I watch a lot of movies, and I could talk about found footage films all day because I've watched about 15
You could make your own YouTube channel if you just want to recommend movies and do movie reviews.
But we've already been running for 2 hours now, so.
Yes. And some of this will be cut, but.
2 hours, 2 minutes exactly.
Oh, wow. Well, whip parades tend to be a bit long.
Well, we had a long bit that we're going to definitely have to cut.
When I went and fed the pets.
Right now, while we're talking.
Well, that is all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please come and visit us again. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave comments, questions below. You can also email me at harpystitch@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram. And I look forward to spending time with you in the future.
Don't follow me. It creeps me out.
You're also hyper aware, and it would be hard to follow you anyway.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, I don't go anywhere.
Well, that's not true. We went to the movies and we went.
I'm going to places a lot more these days. Yeah.
So, I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.
Muchas smooches.